Good morning, everyone. Albert also says good morning. We will begin our seated slash standing practice today. I know we usually do standing variation, but today I will follow my own advice and listen to my body, and we will begin seating. Once again, feel free to just start in a mountain pose, standing with the spine straight. If you're seated in a chair, I put a little blanket because my chair is metal without any cushioning, so make sure you're comfortable. And if you're seated, make sure that you're not seated all the way, lounging, but your spine is straight, you're closer to the edge of the chair, and you can place the hands on your thighs, and we'll just breathe in and out through the nose. First, starting at your own pace, and then gently deepening the breath, doing a little scan. If it feels comfortable, you can close your eyes if it makes you a bit more concentrated, and be present in your body. If you're standing, be careful with that. Make sure that there's something to hold on to if you suddenly lose your balance. And I will read the affirmation for today. It's a long one, so feel free to only take what feels right today or choose something else completely. Today's affirmation is: making mistakes is human. I'm not meant to be exempt from the human experience. I am meant to embrace it. I'm meant to be fully alive, to experience the full range of what it means to be human. I am humbled by my own humanity, and I am grateful for it. That is a beautiful one. And I will read it again at the end of the practice. For now, no matter if you're seated or standing, just checking with your spine. Shoulders are away from the ears, maybe roll them back. And we will begin with some gentle neck stretches. So gently look up and down, creating slight movements, waking up the neck. Beginning to wake up the spinal bones. Go faster or slower, depending how it feels. And then when we look down, just gently roll your head to the right and then to the left. Continue breathing through the nose, in and out. Nice deep inhale and exhale. And after you roll, looking down, we'll gently bring our head looking towards the center in front of us. And then we'll start rolling our shoulders back, about 5 to 10 circles. Start slow and small. And then changing the rotations, going in the opposite direction. Five to 10 times and release. Now we'll do some exercises for hands and shoulders. So bring your hands with bent elbows, palms facing forward, making a little, almost like a W. And then if you're standing, you can stand next to the wall. So your back is to the wall, and then it will be extra um, good for you to also check in with how your spine responds and making sure that you are making it as straight of a movement as possible. So from this W, we'll bring our hands slowly all the way up. Shoulders are relaxed. So it's going to be a little Y, from W to Y. Exhale, bend the elbows. Inhale, hands all the way up. About 5 to 10 times. Slow and controlled movement, making sure that our spine is straight. Abdominal muscles are engaged. Our shoulders are relaxed, not trying to climb up next to our ears. And just follow your breath, follow your own pace. And release. Shake the hands if needed. And now we'll do some spinal twists and rotations to wake up the whole of the spine. And we'll begin with a cat-cow. So seated variation is just placing the palms on the thighs, sitting up straight, and then looking up and arching the back and looking down and rounding the spine. And we did the same with the standing position a while ago. So it's going to be, once again, bend the knees slightly, place the hands on the thighs, and same movement can be repeated while standing. So about 5 to 10 repetitions. Find what feels good. Listen to your body. If rounding the spine or arching the back doesn't feel right today, just go to a neutral spine. Or make as small of a movement as it can be. And if it feels good, feel free to deepen the stretch. And release, come back to neutral. Now we'll do some spinal twists. So once again, seated variation. We will place both hands on the thigh, and I'm turning to the right. First, my chin is turning, my gaze is turning to the right, and then the torso follows. Feel free to put the right hand on the chair or on your lower back, depending how deeply you're seated, what feels comfortable for you. And release. And the standing variation is, I'm going to the left now. So first, once again, chin, then torso. Feel free to put the left hand on your lower back, and another hand either can be on right hip or hugging the left hip bone to deepen the stretch. And we will repeat those twists. So choose the variation that works for you today. We will be repeating those twists for about 5 right and left in both directions. So exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist in the opposite direction. Inhale, center. Exhale, changing rotation. And exhale, center. And repeat it for about 5 rounds. Pausing in the center, letting yourself inhale fully. Feel free to adjust the amount of times that you do it. Or if it feels nice, feel free to stay in this rotation for several breaths. In this twist. And return to the center. Inhale and exhale here. And now we will do some bends to the sides. So once again, there's a seated variation, very similar to a standing variation. So if you're seated, I suggest you hold on to the edge of the chair and either touch your shoulder, and we will bend in the opposite direction on the exhale. And I will show it on the other side while seated as well. So you can see that I'm holding onto a chair, touching the shoulder, or hand goes all the way up. Feeling stable. Our legs, our feet are firmly grounded. And the standing variation, about the same. So either touching the shoulder or hand goes all the way up. You can place other hand on the hip. And we will repeat it once again for a couple of times, couple of rounds. And release. And now we're have hopefully woken up our upper body. Now let's begin on waking up our legs and our joints and our legs. So if you're sitting in a chair, once again, make sure you're sitting closer to the edge. Your legs are touching the ground firmly. You're rooted in this position. Spine is straight. Lift up one leg. You can help yourself by placing, interlacing the fingers or just grabbing your thigh. And we will begin rotations of the ankle. Once again, standing variation would be make sure you have a sturdy chair, a table, or a wall to grab onto. Root into one leg, so all the weight goes into one leg. Bring your other leg up, about 90 degrees bend in the knee. You can go lower, it's fine. You can once again hold on to something and support your leg with your hand underneath the thigh and begin rotations of the ankle. So about 5 to 10 rotations in one direction, and then we will change the direction and go the opposite way. Making sure our shoulders are relaxed, spine straight. I know I keep repeating that, but it's very important. And we're breathing fully, not holding our breath. We will switch the legs now. Feel free, if you're standing especially, feel free to shake the legs in between to release the tension. And we will do the same in the opposite for the opposite leg. So some ankle rotations, about 5 rotations in one direction, 5 to 10, whichever feels better. Sometimes one side needs more to wake up than the other. And release. Feel free to shake the legs. And now we will do the same with for our knee. But for our knee, you have an option here to just extend the knee. You don't have to extend all the way. And try not to point the toe. Try to still flex the ankle. So only go as far as it is comfortable. My knee is cracking. So only go as far. Obviously, there should not be any pain. My knee is just cracking without any discomfort. So hopefully that is the same for you. Don't feel like you have to extend the leg all the way straight. And we can add some gentle rotations as an option. Going one direction about 5 times and the opposite direction. Release the leg. Once again, standing variation is lifting the leg, holding on to something sturdy. Lifting the leg, you can support the leg or keep the muscles working, just like we did with an ankle. We can try to straighten our knee. And then option to add rotations. And shake the legs after switching sides and in between and anytime you feel like you need it. And then we're coming up to our hip. So once again, we can lift the leg while seated closer to the edge of the chair. And then doing the rotations in one direction and then the opposite direction, about 5 to 10 times. And the standing variation, finding the balance here, doing about 5 to 10 rotations in one direction, and then the opposite direction. Breathing in and out through the nose. Beautiful. And now we're fully prepared for the pose of the day, the eagle pose. It's a challenging pose when for balance when done in a standing variation, but in a seated variation, I feel like most people can do it with modification. Right, so sitting up straight, closer to the edge, we will cross our legs and then bring the hands in front of us, crossing. Here, find a position which works for you. Either you can just place the hands on opposite shoulders. So see, I'm crossing it here. It can look like this, elbows can touch. If your elbows can touch and you don't feel any discomfort, you can bring your hands up without crossing them and palms together, or you can cross the hands like so. So one elbow goes on top of another and crossing your hands, creating a little vine and palms together. With the legs, you can also cross it a bit more and bring one leg around another. Spine is straight, holding it for several breaths. So choose a variation that works for you today, and I will attempt to show you the variation for a standing eagle pose. So make sure you have something sturdy, soft knee. So we're shifting our weight to one leg, spine is straight, leg is strong, soft knee though. And another leg either crosses like bends around, or we can go all the way. My balance is not as good today as I might want it to be for this class, but we can still make it work. And our hands, I will do it in the opposite direction now. Once again, crossing. And choose a variation, either leg goes around the standing leg or just sitting on top of the thigh. You can also just lift one leg, and this will be your variation of an eagle. This is hands on the shoulders, also a variation. Standing still for a couple of breaths and changing and going in the opposite direction, changing the leg. So many options to make it the pose work for your body, not your body to bend in unnatural for your body, unnatural angles. All right. Hope this was challenging for your balance. And now it's time to relax. So once again, you can choose to be standing with a straight spine, shoulders rolled back, or we can do the mountain pose variation while seated. Once again, closer to the edge of the chair, straight spine, roll those shoulders back, relax your facial muscles. Your back and abdomen are strong, but not super tight. So find the grounding and strength, but not tightness. Arms can be faced in front of you. And just breathing in and out through the nose. Letting the air travel through your lungs. Feeling your belly, your diaphragm. And I will read the affirmation for today a couple more times. Well, maybe one more time. Making mistakes is human. I am not meant to be exempt from the human experience. I am meant to embrace it. I am meant to be fully alive, to experience the full range of what it means to be human. I am humbled by my own humanity, and I am grateful for it. Breathing in and out through the nose, focusing on present moment, quickly checking with your body, just a quick scan, bringing your awareness to any tightness that is still left, or maybe acknowledging the release that we've experienced after moving our joints and our muscles. And the final Nice deep inhale and exhale. And bring the hands all the way to the sides. And do a little self-hug. Maybe rotate from side to side. Release those good hormones. I hope you enjoyed today's practice and found what feels right for you today. Thank you for joining me. Namaste. All right, and feel free to leave a comment and otherwise interact with me in any way, even if it's a direct message. And I will see you on Monday. Have a great weekend.